Okay, can I just draw out a tiny instruction manual
Yep.
for a 22-year-old beginning
Yeah.
life?
Yeah.
Okay, and of course this applies to 25, 30-year-olds as well.
Yeah.
You mentioned some guidelines.
Yeah.
So you said your first job is to, you said something that kind of, in my eyes, I read as being kind.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be a good human being. Karma. You said
Yeah.
be conscious of your karma.
The greatest sign of a noble being is humbleness. Be humbleness and never think that you are the doer. There's a greater force that is operating. And if you think that you are too smart, just hold your nose and you will come to know that you can't survive. The sun is shining equally for everyone. That humbleness is very important.
So for a 22-year-old, the basis of all forms of growth is humbleness.
Yep.
I also put kindness in the same
Yes,
bracket.
yes, perfect.
The second is to do your best in the world, which at 22 often means career and
Yeah.
family life. Do your best for your parents, do your best at your job.
And one more advice practically. If you don't like something, don't do it.
As in?
Don't be forced by parents or don't be in any situation that you are because you won't last. Your swabhava will decide what you want to do.
But also don't use this as an excuse to not work hard.
Perfect. Perfect. And you know, it's a very fine line. It's a very fine line where we forget.
Yeah. This is actually where most people slip off.
Yeah.
That's
Very
where spiritual bypassing begins.
Yes.
The third thing you said is study, read.
Yeah.
You know how I look at spiritual podcasts? They point you towards spiritual books, and spiritual books point your journey towards where it's supposed to go.
True.
Like there is something you'll gain from podcasts,
Definitely.
but it actually should point you towards the books.
And you know, it is very strange. We forget things very easily. We forget things very easily because we are now selective surrender. If things are going my way, oh, God is so nice. I always tell this because we go through the process. So that constant reading and constant being aware is very important.
Right. The final two steps in my eyes, these are kind of optional. It depends on your own personal journey. Get into the process of yoga, and by that I don't mean just asanas. Yam, niyam, pranayam, asana, meditation.
It's very important.
And finally, I would say that really take up a sadhana if you can. For me at 22, I used to just sit for 20 minutes, keep my back straight. I couldn't even sit cross-legged well that time. You know, I would just do Om chanting for 20 minutes. It started off something.
Yeah, it's the most powerful sadhana. Even the entire text Upanishad says that Om is everything. In fact, if you think this is too much heavy for you and this is too spiritual, a very basic, simple solution is being non-violent in your thoughts. When I say non-violent, it's very, very difficult. Oh, I should not be jealous of Arbhai. Oh, my brother is getting more money from me. Oh, you know what? Tomorrow I'm not gaining popularity. This is the biggest battle. If you try understanding, you will evolve. And it is very, very difficult. So if you think that, the praying to Kali is difficult or Om chanting, be non-violent in your thoughts.
Yeah.
It will drain you out because you're conditioned again.
I ask the person in front of me often, are you a good person trying to be bad? Or are you a bad person trying to be good? And it's actually a question that you need to sit and really think about. Because it's a very nuanced answer. And very often, I think society conditions us into wanting to say, no, I'm a good person trying to be bad. No, I want to say I'm a bad person trying to be good. No, I'm a good person trying to be bad. And they settle at that because that's societal conditioning.
Yeah.
But Shikhar Dhawan, when I'd asked him this, he did this, okay? He went, ooh! He did something like that because he understood the depth of the question.
Yeah.
A reality of growing up in urban centers anywhere in the world. You are taught to be mentally very tough, very street smart to survive in the city and to grow. And then you're also given a moral compass and you're told don't do the wrong things in life. There's a dialogue from Batman Begins where they say that it's not who you are on the inside, but it's your actions that define you.
True.
It's the same thought. You may be bad on the inside. You know the vicious way of going about the world, but you're trying to do the right thing. I think it's kind of similar to what you're trying to say about being non-violent in your thoughts. Yes, there is violence in your thoughts. Acknowledge it. Don't ever act upon it. And eventually transform that inside as well.
Beautiful.
Right?
Because when you read Patanjali, this is stuck to my heart because it is so practical. He's saying that being non-violent is impossible. Impossible. Accept it.
There is viciousness in human nature.
It is. But try not to. Secondly, what I believe is also the intention. If I am shouting at you, Arbhai, but my intention is that you evolve, I'm free.
The intention matters.
Intention matters.
And the wish to transform.
Yeah. And the intention, if it is for upliftment of others, you will blossom.
Yeah.
But I'm, oh, Arva, you're fabulous. My intention is very, very toxic.
Right.
I'm using such words, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Then no matter what, I am binded. Because nature knows everything. Nature will not leave you.
You know, people who have negative, or I would even say neutral intention in their heart, it often shows up on the face.
Definitely. You can't hide. I can hide from you for 3 times, 4 times. It will come up.
Yeah.
It will come up.
A good practice for end users, and they can do this in their own social circles.
Yeah.
If you are doubtful about a certain person's intention, see a photo of them smiling.
Yeah. You will come to know.
Just keep looking at it. Keep looking at it. And ask yourself what lies beyond the smile. And the way to polish this skill, it's also a podcasting skill, honestly, where you observe humans very deeply. The way to polish this skill is that you have certain people in your life who you know very deeply. You know their characters inside out. Maybe a relative, maybe a friend. See a photo of them smiling, especially the ones where you know that this person is a good human being and their intentions are clean. And see a bunch of good human beings in your own circle. Their smiles are often representations of good intention. And do this obviously with the people who you know have been slightly twisted in their life.
True.
You'll be able to develop some kind of pattern recognition in your head, which will protect you throughout your 20s.
True. True. And I also believe that at times when you are around people, you just come to know with time. They will hide it for 3 times, 4 times, but 5th time it will just come to you.
Yeah. I think one of those experiences one has again in their 20s is understanding which people give you energy and which people take energy from you.
True.
And the goal of life is to hang out with people who give you energy.
You know, there's a very beautiful state that we go in 20s. And personally, I believe, don't get attached to the experiences. It is a learning process. I've seen many people, whatever's happened in 20, till 20 and also they are stuck in the 24, 23. They don't let go of that. And that's a major problem. And it is not the end of life. But you have planned your life in such a way in your head. Again, you're binded to situation.
I think hard work needs to be a very core part of one's existence. Otherwise, life is going to punish you going forward.
Karma yoga is very important.
Yeah.
If the human body is given, action is very, very important for people living in this space.
With the base of what I just said, that hard work should be like breathing. That shouldn't be a question, you know. Beyond that, I feel that the success that you gain through hard work is not just because of the hard work. It's actually because of your spiritual growth.
Definitely.
How kind you are.
Yeah.
How nuanced your decision making is.
Your success or anything depends upon the hard work. It will turn out to be fruitful if you're doing it as an offering.
Yeah.
To that divine.
Yeah.
So I'm doing this podcast for the divine. I'm doing it's a very high state to be in, because if for a nanosecond things don't go your way and you forget everything, again you're binded to karma. Clished, again binding. So attitude, your intention, and I think in higher states you just do it with love. That is the solution for everything. Unconditional love.
You're talking about attaching love to your professional work, right?
Doing it as an offering for the divine. And enjoying the process.
Yeah, it's such a challenging thing for a person in their early 20s to actually wrap their head around, you know, because go on.
Yeah, early 20s, a simple solution is first see what you want to do in your life.
Yeah.
Understand your sabhava.
Yeah, you're saying a very practical thing here, right?
Very practical.
You know, I remember, so my first internship in college was in mergers and acquisitions in Ernst & Young, okay? I worked as a financial analyst. And I was very grateful to be in that EY office. It was a swanky office. And I was like, dude, this is a big blessing that I'm here. First, I thank you to God on my first day. And I stayed there, learned a lot, saw the corporate world, had a lot of respect for it. It was that whole energy of that office is actually a guru for me even today. Like, you know, I bow my head down to that phase of my life. This was when I was 20 or 21. But I do remember this one feeling I used to have, which is that about a month or two into that internship, I had a friend called Devendra. He was a family friend who also happened to be interning at that. And the only reason I wanted to go to office was to spend time with Devendra and then learn alongside him. But the feeling I used to have while entering that office was, wow, can't wait for 5 p.m. when I get to exit.
Yeah.
That's the universe's way of saying that this is an experience, this is not where you belong.
See, you have taken this maturely. Now with time you have realized this has happened. Your Sabhava is doing this. And the more you do it with your Sabhava and enjoy it, automatically nature will push you ahead.
Yeah. Parallelly, when I started training people for money, okay, before YouTube began, I would approach training with a very I loved that job. I was making good money also as a 22-year-old because of that. I was making more money than I would have made in any of my engineering college placements. People were laughing at me like that. Oh, you did engineering, and there was a lot of psychological trauma I had to face in that phase. But I enjoyed training. I could do it for the rest of my life. I really like helping a younger person.
Yeah.
And I had some teenage clients and all that. Just I looked at it as a younger sibling that I want to help your body. And that extended into Beer Biceps being a fitness channel because it was effectively that.
Yeah.
The feeling I had with that professional aspect was, it felt like a plant. It didn't feel like a task. Felt like I just want to keep giving this water.
Nurturing it, yeah.
I want to nurture this. And long hours of work didn't feel like that.
Yeah. Because you're enjoying it, no?
Yeah. That's what people need to look for on a professional level in their early 20s.
And I think these 20 or 25 are so pressurized in society and having a status or having this. Later they regret.
Yeah.
So contemplate what you enjoy the most.
Yeah. And the truth is that there are certain fields that are perceived to be glamorous. This field included content creation, sports, films. All the people who matter in these fields, the decision makers, are all looking for young people to work with, and they're not being able to find them.
Yeah.
And the young people don't even try entering these fields out of a place of self-doubt.
Yeah.
But it's about extending yourself.
Yes.
Send emails out.
Yeah.
Try getting in touch with people.
There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of unknown territory.
The reason I'm saying this is this nurturing aspect of watering the plant when it comes to career. People don't experience that reality because they just think that, hey, I won't get paid in those kind of jobs. That's not true. There is money to be made. And I think money is a good thing to chase when you're in your early 20s.
Yeah, the thing is, no, the fear is to jump in. Once you jump in only, then you'll know how to swim. We don't want to jump in. We contemplate. We just create a lot of things.
The reason you and me are talking about this very hyper practical career angle in a Tantra based podcast is because this is actually a box one needs to tick to enable all the spiritual stuff.
Yeah, true.
Like first, settle your own capitalistic mind.
And more than that, no, you have to go through the grind. You can't experience things when you can't go through it. So unless I've burnt my hand, I'll realize the sensation of what it is. So it's a process you go through.